Hi, my name is Chandler McKee, and I'm going to be presenting my final research presentation on Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato was born on August 20th of 1992 in Albuquerque, New Mexico by the name of Demetria Devon Lovato, and she's 32 years old today. She originally started as an actor and now she makes music. Her mother's name is Deanna de la Garza and her father's name is Patrick Lovato. Demi's childhood, she has a lot of trauma from her childhood. I put some quotes on this presentation. So the first one is in this video called Simply Complicated. It was an official documentary posted by herself. She stated, "Growing up, I had been bullied in school and I had felt like an outsider. I felt like an outcast." And then she went on to describe that her first time doing cocaine was at 17 years old, and that was when she was on Disney Channel. She had a really complicated relationship with her father, and he would just lie to them a lot. And when she was growing up, her and her sisters and her mom, they all dealt with their parents' separation together, and they relied on each other for support. Her first role was on Barney and Friends as an actor. And then when she progressed into her teen years, Demi Lovato got a role on the Disney movie Camp Rock. And that was a big moment. And it was her big break. And it sent her into the career that she has today. And I put another quote from the video. She stated, "I felt the pressure increase when the fame started to creep into my life. I started feeling pressure to look a certain way, to sing music that I felt people would like, rather than sing music that I would make. There was more pressure, you know." And then after this pressure weighed on Demi for a while, and it continued to just build, the symptoms and signs of her mental distress were starting to show. And this led Demi Lovato to partake in substance abuse. And there was an incident when she was on tour. It was during her Camp Rock era where she got physically violent with one of her background dancers. And she started trying to get sober, but that led her to just keep up the appearance of being sober. And she continued abusing substances. And she's had several relapses and overdoses since. And she continued to have these battles, inner battles, and she's on a journey of healing. I put some more quotes from the video. She stated that there have been times where I've dealt with depression, where I've had suicidal ideations, and it's something that I've dealt with since I was very young, and it's something that I can struggle with if I don't stay on top of it. And in another quote, she stated that she gets envious of people that don't have to deal with eating disorders because it's something that she has to think about every day. She's on her own path to sobriety, and everyone's is different. And here is the video that I have linked from the Today channel on YouTube.
Today is Mental Health Action Day, so for our Man Matters series, We have a really important conversation with a global pop superstar about the importance of seeking help and the difference that it can really make. NBC News Now anchor Savannah Sellers is here with more. And you recently got to sit down because you hosted this event with her?
That's exactly right. Yes, good morning to all of you. So yeah, I got to host this live stream conversation with Demi Lovato for the Milken Institute Global Conference, and we talked about her mental health journey in depth, especially being in the public eye.
I found something that I deal with now is anxiety. I've dealt with depression, I've dealt with addiction, I've kind of have a checklist, and I've just kind of knocked them all off.
Global superstar Demi Lovato does not shy away from sharing her darkest moments.
There have been times where I've dealt with depression where I have had suicidal ideations, and it's something that I've struggled with since I was very young. And it's something that I can still struggle with if I don't stay on top of it.
Lovato made headlines in July 2018 when a drug overdose nearly took her life. She shared the previously unknown details in a YouTube documentary, revealing just how close to death she came.
I had 3 strokes. I had a heart attack.
Was that a hard decision to make, to be that open?
It wasn't a hard decision for me because I've always been an open book. The very first time that I went to treatment was when I was 18, and I went for my eating disorder, and I went for self-harm and emotional issues. And when I came out of that experience, I was faced with the decision of either keep your mouth shut and not say anything, or share your experience, strength, and hope with another person in hopes that it affects them in a positive way. And I decided to go with that route because I wanted to help others. I wish that I had had somebody when I was 13 years old. I wanted somebody in the public eye to say that, hey, this is what I've gone through, and you don't have to choose that route.
What do you want the 13-year-old who's watching you now to know about if they're not okay?
Talking to people and asking for help is more than okay, and is absolutely what you should do.
For Lovato, limiting her social media intake was key.
It got to a point where I realized I can't read anything, because if I read positive comments, it feeds my ego, and if I read negative comments, it damages my ego, and ultimately I don't want to navigate out of ego at all.
What would it be like for you, do you think, if when you first started struggling, you had the internet the way we do at our fingertips now, and how damaging do you think it is?
I think it's so damaging. I think that we live in a world of editing and Facetune and all these things that can change the way that we look. And it's hard to grow up in a world where that's right in front of your face and at your fingertips at all times. I grew up in a period of time where young Hollywood was very, very, very thin, and that was the look. I think that had a really negative impact on my mental health, which I think fed into my eating disorder.
Today, Lovato is focused on strengthening her mental health and pointing others to that path by being transparent and putting in the work.
I don't want to paint the facade that everything is totally perfect and fine, but I am in a really good place, and it has been kind of challenging to write a happy rock album. But I'm doing it. But I have bad days. I had a bad day on Sunday. I realized that even to this day, no matter how happy I might feel and seem, I'm human, and it's okay to still struggle even when you're in a great place.
Is this as important a part of your life as the other things that we know you for, being an advocate in this way?
It's arguably even more important because music, yes, it can last forever, but careers don't. Life and legacy is what's important, but the things that I'm most proud of are the fans that share their stories with me and say, you've saved my life. And that to me is more important than any award that I could win.
Really so powerful to hear her say how much this means to her, even compared with her music. Well, Demi also works with several organizations directly related to the struggles that she has had, like the National Alliance for Eating Disorders. Something that she said that struck with me is recognizing the fluidity of our emotions and that bad feelings ultimately pass. The only thing in life that is permanent is impermanence.
That's true.
It sounds like she's found peace in it. Like, I love how she said, with social media, you're feeding your ego. When people say good things, you love it.
Right.
But then when people people say bad things, it takes you not. We can all relate to that.
Right.
Absolutely.
She just kind of
Let's
has
not
to reel
touch
it
it either way.
What about Demi's fans? What are they saying?
Yeah, so she mentioned at the end there that she loves when she hears from fans, that it means the most to her. She says she has actually seen fans holding up posters in her audiences that say, "You saved my life," by talking about the issues that you've had, or things like, "Thank you for helping me." And she actually says that every time that she sees those signs, it makes her feel like the hard times that she's had are so worth it, which is a really powerful thing to say, of course. And she actually likes to connect with people one-on-one with those organizations who are going through the struggles that she has been. Lots of action, you know, this Mental Health Action Day, really working on it.
Very good
It's
conversation.
Thank you, Samantha.
great. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's good.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Okay, and I just wanted to come back one last time to show you my references slide. Thank you.